Okay, this is just going to be a really quick video showcasing all of the things that you need to know in order to play Ezreal like a mechanical god. So first things first, if you know nothing about League of Legends, it has something called spell queuing, which is basically if you queue up one spell and then during the animation queue up another spell, it'll fire it off as soon as possible. So here I'm going to WQ really quickly, and because I'm going to press WQ so quickly, um, even though W has an animation time to it, because I pressed Q very, very soon after pressing W, it'll fire off as soon as the animation is finished. I don't know if my mic picks up my keys being pressed, but yeah. So that's spell queuing. It also works with WE and EWQ and lots of other stuff, so okay. Next is just going to be some full combos. So first for AD Ezreal. Well, I guess this works on both AD and AP Ezreal, but WR, EQ, and then use your Gunblade or Orc. Obviously, as AD Ezreal, you don't have Ignite, but if you're AP Ezreal... that was a little slow, but you get the idea. Oh, looks like Dragon's gonna bug us, so I'm gonna clear dummies.
Know your environment. My environment is wet and muddy and probably filled with leeches.
If you want to do that from outside of vision, which is usually what you want to try and do if you're AP Ezreal, let's say you have a vision of your opponent, you don't want to open up with W because it gives them time to react. Instead, what you want to do is Alt Q up W and then just basically blow everything on them. Blow your Gunblade, WEQ, Ignite, and you can get it all extremely quickly. Oh, I fucked it up. Probably a lot easier from this side, huh? Yeah, so there you go. Less than a second, you can basically dump everything. And that works as AD Ezreal too. Obviously, you don't really have Ignite, and your burst is maybe a little bit lower. But, yeah, same idea. Obviously, you've got WQ, WE. Something that's pretty important to know. Okay, here, let's go somewhere a little bit quieter, shall we?
Don't make me put my goggles on.
Something to note that's pretty important is, let's say you're at like this distance where W is, you know, definitely in range. It's not like anywhere near max range. If you WE, it works. If you go really close, it works. But if you go to very close to the tip of the range, that's not even the tip of the range. You can even go further. I think like... Hold on. This might take a couple of attempts. Unless they might have fixed it, but I don't think they did.
And in Noxus. Demasia's lukewarm on it. Haven't been to Ionia yet. Seems nice.
Anyway, the point is that if you hit something at max range, yeah, see like that, you can WE and it won't pop the W because the W travel time is shorter than the cast time of W plus the cast time of E. So even with spell queuing, as you can see, it doesn't pop. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing that I kind of touched on over here is, like I said, if you ult from outside of vision, that's pretty much what you always want to try to do, because Ezreal's ult sound is extremely noticeable. So even if you're off screen, like an enemy is like up here, okay, maybe not that far, but you can hear Ezreal from very far away, is the point that I'm trying to make. And it's really easy to react if that's the case. So you want to try and throw your ult from outside of vision if you can, because it hides the sound. Next order of business is flash canceling. Extremely important mechanic. Obviously, you could hit your W from here, and you could, like, you know, EW from there. But if you really want to surprise people, what you should do is queue up your W, and then during the animation wind up, you can flash.
I can't get hauled into Wizard Court again. Technically, I don't have a permit for the gauntlet.
And you could do the same with the wind up of all of his other spells. So, for example, oh, and also this works as a redirect. So I can queue over here and flash upwards, and it'll still direct to where I aimed.
Never met a problem I couldn't blast away with magic. You don't even understand.
Next is probably the next most useful one, I think, is the E flash cancel. So because E targeting is based on, you know, a lock-on instead of a skill shot, you have to be in range in order for the missile to land, right? But, like, let's say I'm over here, right? Doing that doesn't land. But if you flash during the wind-up of the E, you can make it into range of some people. And it's pretty unexpected a lot of the time. And the least useful one, but obviously the most flashy, is the alt flash cancel, which looks like that. You can do this in any direction, and it looks really weird because if you flash in a certain direction, it changes the direction that you're facing to face that direction. And like if you flash forward, your ult will still come out from behind you, so it'll come from out here.
I unearthed the secrets of the path.
Yeah. Sometimes useful, sometimes not. Might be able to catch some people off guard with it. Nothing really too insane going on there.
I don't read books about the world.
And then the last thing that's probably worth mentioning is this mechanic where if you E and you're not in range of an enemy, nothing happens. If you keep your cursor there and you use a skill shot, it just flies off into nothing. But if you're in range of an enemy, when your E missile connects, if you leave your cursor in the same place, your skill shot will shoot in the direction of the enemy. So for example, here, but if I go outside the E range, it doesn't work. So if your cursor is within your E circle, range indicators really helps with this if you're not familiar with the range too much. You can just fire off your combo without really too much worry. And that's pretty much it.